Hey guys, so I'm back with an update after a long time again on my Porsche, not Porsche, Jesus, wow, really has been a long time. No, on my Nissan R89C that I've been working on for ages at this point. First of all, sorry for a lack of updates. I haven't been making much progress on this thing. I've been really burned out from work lately. Um, I get home in the evenings and I'm just mentally exhausted, mentally fatigued. Not necessarily from the job, but just from people that I work with at the job. Tend to be quite draining. So I get home, you know, 4 out of the 5 days a week I get home and I just don't. I sit here, I look at this stuff, and I just go, I just don't have it in me to sit down and work on anything. So I'm making progress. It's just I'm making very slow progress. So here's where I'm at on this. I've got the front and rear bodywork has been primed and painted on the inside. You can see that that's just flat black, nothing really to see. The outside looks terrible right now, just because it needs to be. I have to prime this yet, and then spray this with gloss white. So this looks terrible. I have the interior taken care of for now. I'm sure I'm going to have some overspray and I'm going to have to come back and touch things up here and there, but it's not going to be a big deal. This is done. This is just tedious work. So this is basically ready to have primer put on it. You can see it looks terrible right here. That's just because I had to get black inside the little vents there. Again, it's all going to get primed and painted white. It'll be good to go. I had to do some repair work on my windshield. The windshield was loose inside of the box, and it was bouncing around. There was a big scratch up in here. There was actually two big scratches. There's a big scratch here. There's a big scratch here. I had to go in and I had to sand it all down, and of course you do that, and then your windshield's fogged, and buff it out and buff it out and buff it out, and then eventually I just dipped it in Future, and no more scratches. I got a little bit of touch-up work to do here. I got a little bit of glob of Future built up in the corner on that one, and just a tiny amount on this one. So I have to fix that yet. But yeah, had to do some repair work on the clear parts, which is always somewhat stressful because you kind of have to hold. Or at least for me, I hold my breath a bit, going, "Oh God, I hope this works. I hope I don't completely screw this up by doing this." I think I may have shown this off in the last update. To be honest, I can't remember. But here's the floor pan and then the cockpit. You can see the gear shift, the shifter linkage in there, and then the seat. Oh, well, and then I dropped it. Oh, what a dummy! And it survived. Yay! No scratches. Okay. Well, that was a what an idiot. Here's this part, you guys. Donk. Drop it on the floor. Well done. Okay. So. What a dummy. Okay. Here's a piece I really hope I don't drop, because this is where the bulk of my time has gone into. I've got the engine, transmission, and rear suspension are done. It's missing. Right now it is missing the exhaust pipes and the twin turbochargers, which I have to do yet. I have to do a little bit of panel line wash on these, where you see the little red squares on the top here. These, because there's little slats there that are going to take a panel line wash and bring out a little bit of detail there. I'm really happy with how this is kind of come out. You can see that I did some dry brushing to, let me see if I can get it to. Nah, it's not going to focus on that. It says Nissan V8 there. I dry brushed that with a little bit of chrome silver. No, I dry brushed it with steel to try and get that to come out. It may look blurry on this, but I promise you it actually shows up and it looks pretty good. I used flat aluminum for some of the paint work. That really looks, on these pieces here, I'm really happy with how that looks. That looks really cool. Actually gave it a really realistic effect. It's the flat aluminum from the Vallejo, what is it, metal color line. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that came out. You can see I got some photo etch on the brakes there, on the brake discs. I got some other photo etch in there somewhere. Oh, that valve there is a piece of photo etch. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this piece turned out. Oh, and then so the one thing that I'm 99% sure I've mentioned in other videos that I'm never really happy with is how my shocks and springs turn out on 24 scale stuff, because they're just so small. It's hard to get the details to pop out. You can see on this, I'm thrilled with how this came out. That's not going to focus on that. The shocks and springs came out really, really nice. I'm really happy with how those look. I sprayed them initially with chrome silver, and then I went over the chrome silver on the top and bottoms of the shocks with what? What did I go over it with, idiot? I went over it with titanium gold. And that made it it gave it a nice subtle difference. It didn't make it pop out too much. And then the springs themselves, I just kind of very carefully painted with blue, Vallejo Model Air blue. And yeah, I'm really, really thrilled with how that came out. Hopefully I can do that good a job on the front shocks, because I really like that. But yeah, the other thing I was going to mention with this is you can see the different colors on the engine. If you're building a Tamiya race car, always double check what their paint callouts are with actual reference photos if you can find them, because a lot of the time Tamiya will tell you to paint something completely wrong. The engine, for example, they were sort of right on the engine, but they basically said, anyway, the long story short, they weren't completely correct on how they tell you to paint the engine on this thing. And then especially like the shocks, like they don't give you a color call out other than black for the shocks and the springs. And if you paint that black, it's not going to look like anything. So yeah, if you're building a Tamiya race car, triple check what they're asking you to do with actual reference photos from the vehicle if you can find them. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I have one more piece I have to put on, which unfortunately is going to cover up a lot of those shocks and springs. There's a suspension brace that's a piece of photo etch from the photo etch set that I'm using. That's going to actually go over the top of between this piece and this piece. It's going to kind of cover the top of it and cover some of those shocks up. So but yeah, that's really my update on this. Here's another piece of photo etch that's going to go on the car. I don't know if I showed that off before. This is the front radiator. The tow hook here, the tow hook there has to get painted red, and then they give you a template, sort of a mask almost, to paint Calsonic in blue, in light blue, over the top of the radiator. I still have to do that as well yet too, but that's not a big deal because this isn't going into the car until close to the end. It'll go. Let's see if I can do this without dropping this piece again, guys. So this piece will go in here. And sit something like that. Anyways, yeah, that's my update. My action-packed update where I drop a vital piece of the model onto the ground and hold my breath and go, oh crap, I just broke it. Anyways, okay. Again, sorry for the delay in updates. Like I said, I've just been slowly plugging along on this, and have been, like I said, I've just been mentally fatigued from my job. So, anyways, here's my update. Thanks for watching. I should hopefully have another update fairly soon.